A clan of immortal humans called the Clan of Separated is invaded by some human city who wants immortality for themselves. As a result, one of the immortals finds herself in the city of humans. How do you think she will survive? In a faraway land from humans, there lived a clan of Lorf. They are known for their long life, and they do not grow as fast as humans. They live in an isolated city where they spend their life weaving hiboil, a type of cloth. Their elder is Racine, and she is about 400 years old. They are called the Clan of Separated, and among them is a 15-year-old lonely girl named Maquia. One day, Maquia sits alone beside their temple. Racine comes to her and asks her why she is alone, and Maquia replies she is bored. Racine tells Maquia that it is impossible to be bored and alone in their city, and says they are called the Clan of Separated because they are to partner with their hiboil without getting closer to humans. She tells her that being close to humans leaves a Lorf more alone than being alone. Maquia accepts her elder's decision. One night, she sees her friends Lelia and Krim outside the city looking at the snow. While they watch, they see flying dragons called Renato and figure the neighboring human town called the Kingdom of Mazarte has attacked them. Maquia goes to call the elders and they secure their hiboil before meeting the soldiers of Mazarte. Chief Izor, the head of the army sent by the Mazarte, asks for Racine. They try to figure out their secret to immortality, but since they didn't get it, they command the Renatos to crumble and kidnap the Lorf. Amid this commotion, one of the Renato catches a virus they call Red Eye and goes haywire. He starts flying without control and drags some hiboil. Renato drags Maquia along with the hiboil, and she finds herself in a lonely city. She stands up and she hears a baby cry. Beside her is an alcoholic merchant. The merchant says the baby is newly born and some thieves have killed his mother. The merchant says the boy is lonely and he will reunite with his mother in heaven. As Maquia hears this, she decides to take the child and says the child is her hiboil. The merchant looks at her and leaves her alone. Maquia finds herself at the farm of a woman named Mido in the village of Helm. She takes the baby to the cow's breast, but she doesn't know how it works. Mido and her two sons, Doel and Lang, find her. She brings her into the room and adopts them. She asks her what name she wants to give the baby. Maquia names her adopted child Ariel. Mido takes Ariel to a merchant so that she can start weaving. After sealing the deal, she takes Maquia along as they deliver Mido's cheese. On their way home, Mido tells Maquia that training a child isn't easy, and since Renato, who caught the red eye, killed her husband, she has been struggling to train her children. Meanwhile, in Mazarte, they announce that another Renato has died and has been cremated. They announce that they have lost several Renatos, and the Renatos are their power hold. So, to ensure their country is saved and they can hold their power, the king orders a marriage between the prince and a kidnapped Lorf, Lelia, Maquia's friend. At Mido's home, Maquia receives a hiboil at work. On the hiboil, they inscribe the wedding between the prince and Lelia. She insists she will go to Mazarte to save her friend. She travels alongside Ariel, and on the ship, she meets Krim. Krim is also a Lorf, and he is Lelia's boyfriend. She and Krim plan on how to break Lelia's engagement, and they map out their plans. At the party, Renato carries her, and they are about to join them together. Maquia goes to Lelia, and she carries her away. Maquia tells Lelia to follow her, but Lelia refuses. She tells Maquia she is pregnant for the prince, and there is no way she can face Krim. She asks Maquia to run away before the soldiers arrive. As the soldier arrives and attempts to chase Maquia, Lelia threatens to abort the baby if they go after Maquia. With the help of the merchant she met earlier, Maquia escapes from the soldiers. She finds out the merchant is a half-Lorf. He asks her if she now understands the reason the elder advises them not to go near humans and tells them that at first humans will look at them in amazement and later grow violent at them. The merchant wishes her well in her journey with humans, and she returns to the inn to meet Krim. As she meets Krim, he asks her what it means to be a mother, and in tears, Maquia explains all it takes her to be a mother to Ariel. As they talk, Ariel thinks his mother is crying, so he runs at Krim. She pets him to bed, and as they wake the next morning, she finds a letter on a hiboil from Krim telling her he will remain in that country to find Lelia, and they have to let her go. Maquia tries to find a job to no avail. She leaves Ariel home to find a job and returns to meet the home in ruins. She screams at Ariel and he runs out of the house. They reunite outside the house in the rain, where they hug. As time passes, Ariel grows into a young man, and the appearance gap between him and Maquia grows smaller. Due to Maquia's stature, they cannot stay long in a place, and they relocate everywhere. They are now in the city of Dorail. At Dorail, Maquia works as an attendant at a bar, while Ariel works as a forge worker. They introduce each other as siblings at Dorail. One day, Lang, who now works as a soldier at Mezarte, meets them at the bar. They take him home, and they catch up with old times. Maquia asks Lang about Lelia. Meanwhile, in the kingdom of Mezarte, Lelia gives birth to a princess named Medmel. She has been separated from her child from birth, and the prince also grows wary of her. Unfortunately, Medmel shows no sign of being a Lorf, and the king gets angry. Lelia is locked in a room where she gets angry daily regarding her life, while the king and the chiefs are looking for another Lorf as the prince's new wife. At the bar, the guest forces Ariel to drink alcohol, and Lang informs Maquia that the king and chiefs are looking for her. Lang tells her he loves her and wants to protect her. He asks her to give him an opportunity to be with her, but she refuses. She says all she wants is to be a good mother to Ariel, and she isn't interested in any other thing. Upon getting back home, she meets drunk Ariel. Ariel asks for a kiss and tries to go near her, but she pushes him away. He takes one of her heboil and attempts to throw it away. She slaps him and pushes him away. He falls on a lantern and their house catches fire. After quenching the fire, he enters his room. Maquia goes to tell him that they have to leave the city again, but he refuses to go with her. The next day, Ariel goes to Lang and pleads with Lang to employ him in the military. Lang refuses and reminds him of how much Maquia does to be his mother, but he insists on going, so he leaves with Lang. As he leaves, Krim comes to Maquia's home and kidnaps her. During the soldiers' procession, Ariel hears that a Lorf girl has been gotten by their neighboring city Balaran. He suspects it may be Maquia, so he tells Lang. About 10 years later, Ariel is now married to a girl named Dita, and she is pregnant. He goes home to visit Dita and sees signs of a war in the city, so he returns to the palace. On the other hand, Krim gets the support of Balaran and some other cities to invade Mezarte, taking Maquia along to this battle. During the battle, the king and prince of Mezarte escape, but they leave Lelia and her daughter alone. Within the commotion, Ariel sees Maquia but can't go after her, while Krim eventually meets up with Lelia. However, Lelia refuses to return with him and claims she has to see her daughter, so he leaves her despite his physical hurt and sits beside a tree while looking at the last Renato. During the war, Lang asks Ariel to return to Maquia, but he refuses. He says that although he joined Mezarte's army because he needed to get away from Maquia, Mezarte gave him all he has, his wife and his friends. He goes into the battle while Maquia jumps to the city. While wandering around, Maquia sees Dita in labor. Dita tells her the child belongs to Ariel, and she helps Dita give birth to the child. After the childbearing, he goes to the battlefield where she meets Ariel. She tells Ariel his child and wife are waiting for him and he should go home. Before she leaves, Ariel appreciates her for all she did for him. He says she taught him all he knows. She shares a heartfelt farewell with him before leaving. She goes to meet Krim, who attempts to kill himself and her due to his heartbreak. Fortunately for her, Krim is ambushed and killed by a guard. On the other hand, Medmel realizes her father has left her. She sees Lelia coming out of the palace and they share glances before Lelia flies down the tower as a kid. She flies down to Maquia, who is flying on the last Renato, and they both fly away. The war ends and Ariel reunites with his wife and child. Many years later, Maquia returns to the city of Helm, where she meets Ariel's grandchild, Lily, and asks for Ariel. Ariel's daughter comes to her and tells her Dita died about 3 years ago, and Ariel is on his deathbed. She goes to Ariel, shares short memories with him, then leaves him with a kiss on his forehead. As she leaves, she remembers all her memories with Ariel and sheds tears. She returns to the half-Lorf merchant, who laughs at her for her tears. As she leaves the city of Helm, she comments that she doesn't regret loving Ariel. The movie ends with a post-credit scene of the Lorf's village with the new generation of Lorfs and the surviving Renato. Thank you for watching the recap. Kindly subscribe to our channel to get notified when we post the next recap. See you next time.